Hey guys, welcome back to Mighty Morphin DJ. I'm DJ, and now that we have seen the Power Rangers Once and Always trailer, finally, it's time to break it down. So here is everything that you missed in the Power Rangers Once and Always 30th anniversary trailer. Alright, so first there's the opening shot of the trailer, and we just get this really beautiful shot of Billy facing off against, a couple of dozen putties, and it's not necessarily the location that I want you to focus on, but it's the cinematography. This is a beautiful pan-around shot that we've never gotten in Power Rangers before. It was just so good, and it just speaks to the quality of this 30th anniversary, what went into it. And you see that throughout the trailer. You get different camera shots, different angles, different techniques that we typically don't get in Power Rangers. So that speaks volumes to me. So I think that's a big deal. So that's the first thing. All right, now the next thing that I want to focus on is this shot right here. So we've got Zach and Billy laying on the ground. They probably got knocked down by putties or by a blast or something. But the first thing I want you to look at is in the background behind Billy's head there is a car. And that, to me, that's probably the new rad bug. So that's something to look at. And then if you look behind Zach there, that's a cemetery. Those are gravestones, and that adds an element of creepiness to it. So my question is, why are we at this cemetery? Is this where Trini was laid to rest? Is this just happened to be where an attack took place? We don't know, but that's an interesting location. I thought it was worth mentioning. The next shot I want us to look at is, now we see a clip earlier where Billy gets attacked by a blast from Rita, and then we see Trini stand up, and we don't actually see it on camera, but she clearly jumps in the way of the blast and saves Billy, but at the cost of her own life. She sacrifices herself to save Billy, because the shot after this is Billy and Zach taking their helmets off, and everybody's standing over top of a cliff looking down like the blast must have knocked her off the cliff. So that's important, and the next clip is even more important. So look right here, and the captions are on in this clip, but that is Trini's daughter, and she clearly says she killed Mom. She doesn't say destroyed, she says killed. Power Rangers has never, ever used that kind of terminology before, so that clearly shows that this is for the older fans. This is for the OG fans like myself. So kids can probably watch this and they will enjoy it, but this is a little bit closer to being adulterated than Power Rangers has come before, with the exception of that YouTube movie that fella did years ago that everybody hated. Well, not everybody. It was a good piece of work. It just wasn't Power Rangers. But it looks like this is taking a few cues from it. Another thing that I want to point out here, too, is the acting by Charlie Kirsch. She could easily be the best actor in the entire show, which all of the seasoned Power Ranger veterans are at this point good actors in their own right, but her acting just seems like it's on a different level, She doesn't seem like the actor or the actress that would be in a kid show. So I'm looking forward to her performance. I really want to see what she brings to the table. All right, now the next shot to look at is this right here, and this appears to be Rita's new digs. So it's clearly a modernized version of her original castle. If you look at the top of this picture here, that kind of looks like that big revolving globe type of thing that was always on the top of her castle. And then in the background here, you see some sort of display, and that's probably her time machine. But then there's also what look like Lightning Collection action figures on either side of it, and everybody's thinking that's what that is, that they're using Lightning Collection action figures as props, and everybody's thinking that she has somehow taken other Ranger teams captive. So that's something to take into consideration. And then this next shot, we got another scene, or another shot of her castle, and we got what looks like the time machine in the background, and then we've got Robo, Snizzard, and Minotaur standing right there in the background, which is something else we'll talk about here in a second. Now, something else that I want to mention too, and here's a shot from earlier when Robo Rita is first revealed, and this is painfully obvious, I can't believe I didn't think of it earlier, but Robo Rita, who do we know that builds robots? The Machine Empire from Power Rangers Zeo. So, and they were still around during the events of Power Rangers in Space. Now, we did see them destroyed when Zordon's energy tube was shattered, but then we saw in Forever Red that some elements of their empire remained. So it's possible that there's still more Machine Empire out there, and they built Robo-Rita here. And then Snizzard and Minotaur are also both robot versions of the original monsters. So the villain, the true villain behind this Robo-Rita, could easily be the Machine Empire. Then again, it might not be. I mean, they could be going in a completely different direction. I don't know, but that's just where my brain goes. All right, now something else that the trailer keeps talking about, and it was, made very clear, is that this is going to have to do with time travel. So this looks like the time machine, because if you look at it, it's, there's like a little portal opening up, and you can see something clearly through it. And if you look through the portal, well, that looks like Rita's dumpster. So that's pretty cool. And then here, during the course of the trailer, we also got an image of a picture of Tai Trang, the actress who played Trini Kwan in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and like a little hand-drawn picture of her from a little girl that's been done in crayon, probably from Charlie Kirsch's character, Ming Kwan. So that's pretty cool. And then this is one of Tai Trang's glamour shots. So if you Google search her name, or just Google search original Yellow Ranger, this is one of the first pictures that pops up. So that was a very good picture for them to use, I think. And I like it. I think it's a very nice little tribute to Tai Trang. All right, now this right here got me excited. I really like this. So if you look right here, first of all, in big bold lettering, Bandora Protocol. So at first glance, that just means, oh, well, that's just in case, something happens, Rita comes back, whatever the case might be. But for those of us who have watched all the way through Kyuru Zyuranger Super Sentai, which is the version of Super Sentai that the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was based on, Bandora is actually Rita Repulsa's name in Super Sentai. That is the character's original name, Bandora. And all the monsters that she would send to Earth to fight the Zyurangers were called Dora monsters. So she even had her own little theme song she would sing from time to time throughout the course of the show. It was kind of weird. Dora, Dora, Dora. You have to go back and watch it. All of Super Sentai is on Tubi. I have already watched through Zyuranger and Dairanger. Dairanger is where the Thunderzords came from, and compared to Power Rangers, it can be weird, but it's a good watch. So I recommend you go and watch that to understand if you're a big enough fan. But yeah, that's what Bandora is. That is Rita Repulsa's original name from Kyuru Zyuranger Super Sentai. And then if you look at this right here, it's like a crescent moon with like a little red ball right there. And that is actually, the top of Rita's staff, if you've ever paid attention to that. So that's pretty cool. And then right here, they show the names of several towns and locations that other Ranger teams and other Ranger seasons have come from. So you got Coral Harbor right there at the top. You got Reefside here. You've got Astro Megaship right there, and there's been two of those, the Astro Megaship, and then in Forever Red, the Astro Megaship Mark II. And then they also, as it scrolls as you're watching it, and it also shows Turtle Cove, which is the town that Power Rangers Wild Force was based in. So that's a pretty cool Easter egg right there. I really like that. I don't know how integral to the plot that's going to be, but I really like that detail. And I really like the quality, because they're showing us an actual screen in the command center that's not just the viewing globe. We're actually seeing part of the console, and we're seeing it function. So that's an attention to detail that we've never gotten before in Power Rangers. So I really, really like that. I like that a lot. All right, so next I want to look at this, and this is an image of the new command center, which I love the way that looks. I mean, it's recognizable, but it's also modernized. It's just really, really good looking. I like that a lot. I think that does a really good job of paying homage to the original command center. Now, I've also heard that this image right here on the top of the command center's satellite tower, I've heard that's a logo or an image from Power Rangers Hyperforce, which is a series that stars various actors that have been Power Rangers and influencers on YouTube. And I don't know if that's true or not, because Hyperforce is the only version of Power Rangers that I have not gone back and watched in its entirety. Back when it was first out and I kept trying to watch it, I couldn't find a playlist of it. I couldn't find every episode of it to watch, so I gave up, and I never did go back to try again. But I need to go back and watch that, because I really want to see if this logo is on there, just so I can have that little attention to detail. That, and I'm also a big fan of Andre the Black Nerd of Black Nerd Comedy here on YouTube. That guy's amazing, and he was the Blue Ranger on Hyperforce. So I really do want. Oh, and the original actor to play Bulk from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the classic duo Bulk and Skull, he played a Power Ranger in that as well. So I really like everything about that. I just need to go through and watch it, and I want to see if this logo pops up in there. All right, next we have a really good shot of the inside of the new command center. We've got Alpha standing there in the middle, very classic looking Alpha. I like that a lot. And then, on either side of him, we've got David Yost, Walter Jones, Kathleen Sutherland, and Steve Cardenas. And first of all, the inside of this command center just looks so good. I mean, we've got like star charts and images of planets and stuff in the background. And then most notably, we've got the cracked energy tube of Zordon. I really like that attention to detail. The crack is even going in the same angle that Andro slashed it in with his spiral saber in that episode, that final episode of Power Rangers in Space. So I really like that. I like that a lot. But this is just a really great image. I love the way this looks. I absolutely love this. All right, so next, all the Rangers line up and Zach hollers out, "It's Morphin time," which I loved. But then we've got the classic lightning bolt comes down to strike the logo, and then they go into their morphing sequence, and we get some of that in this, but it's a modern, just cleaned up version of the original logo, but they haven't changed it really. They just cleaned it up, and to start the morphing sequence, it just looks so good. It just looks so good. It looks so clean. And, I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for it. So that was important. I really like that. All right, now we've got a fight between the Rangers and Putties going on in Angel Grove. And the whole time this shot's going on, the camera is zooming forward. It's panning forward. And it looks like it's going to pan right past the Red Ranger. And if you look in the background, you've got some civilians that are kind of, at the mercy of the Putties there as they're launching this attack. And my question is, what are we zooming in on? Because it zooms through the Rangers. It doesn't zero in on any of them in particular. It just kind of pans forward as and passes the Rangers as they're fighting. So it's clearly going to pass by Rocky here, and then we're going to get a good shot of what's in the background. So I want to know what we're supposed to be zeroing on. Are they just focusing on the destruction? Are they just focusing on the Putties going after the civilians? Or is there something else that we're going to need to draw our attention to when it happens? Is there an important story element here? So that's something. The way this is being shot is what drew me to it. So I think something important may be going on here. All right, so the next shot we get Aisha and Adam, Karen Ashley and Johnny Young Bosch in their SPA uniforms, which is pretty cool. And we only get one line of dialogue, though. We get it from Aisha, and she says, you got this. You guys got this to the our core team of Rangers here. But Adam, Johnny Young Bosch, has no speaking lines in the trailer whatsoever. Now, I'm sure he will have some dialogue in the actual show, but they didn't give him a single line in this trailer, and I'll be honest, that bothered me. That bothered me a lot, because I'm a huge, huge fan of Johnny Young Bosch as the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger, and then as the Green Zeo and Turbo Rangers as well. I'm not a big fan of Turbo, but Johnny Young Bosch was there, and I really like him. So, and not to mention, he's done so many cameos. I mean, he came back for that episode of Power Rangers in Space, and then he came back for the anniversary episode in Power Rangers Operation Overdrive, which was an atrocious season of Power Rangers. But the anniversary episode, Once a Ranger, was fantastic because of him and the Retro Rangers. I mean, they made that episode worth watching, and he was great in that. So, I don't understand why they would give him a speaking line in this trailer. Maybe it was just an oversight. I'm sure he will have dialogue in the show, but, that did kind of strike a negative tone with me that they didn't give him a line in the trailer. All right, so next we see Rocky and Zach teleporting in somewhere, and immediately we recognize it as Ernie's Juice Bar, the youth center of Angel Grove. And watching this during my initial reaction, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, it's the youth center. We haven't seen it in years and years and years and years and years. So I was like, that is amazing. I mean, they phased it out. I mean, Turbo was the last time we saw this. And then they started going to the Shore Shack in Power Rangers in Space, which was fine, I guess. They just should have stayed in the youth center. So it was great to see this again. I really, really liked it. And then we also got an image of it. We got another image of it. We got all the Putties huddled around it here. So it's a big set. I don't know if we're going to see the whole thing, if we're going to see the bar and the table set up and the entryway to the locker rooms, and then the way you walk in and out of the youth center, the entryway. I don't know if we're going to see all of that, but we're at the Angel Grove Youth Center. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. Absolutely love that. Now, another thing that I want to bring attention to here is that Rita is on the battlefield. She's getting her hands dirty. I mean, in this shot, she is fighting with Billy the Blue Ranger in hand-to-hand combat, which she never ever did in any single episode of the show. Not in one single solitary episode did Rita ever get her hands dirty. Yeah, from time to time she would go down to earth, but she was usually standing at a safe distance, just bragging and just being Rita. But here she's fighting. She's on the ground. She's doing grunt work. That's crazy to me. Now, it's Robo Rita, and it very well not be actual Rita Repulsa. Again, it's a robot. Somebody had to build the robot, so they're probably the ones pulling the strings. The actual Rita Repulsa was turned human at the end of Power Rangers in Space, and then she went on to become, the Mother Sorceress or something like that from that last one of those episodes of Power Rangers Mystic Force, which is another scene of Power Rangers that I didn't love. But it is interesting to me, and it is cool to me that, for all intents and purposes of this episode, Rita is getting her hands dirty, something that Laura Zed only did one time. So that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. All right, now here's another shot from the trailer that may not mean anything. It may just be a random moment of heroism by Rocky, but Rocky, our Red Ranger, is jumping off of a building to catch this civilian who seems to be falling. And we don't know who the civilian is. It could be Ming Quan, it could be Trini's daughter, or it could just be a random civilian, or it could be somebody else who is important, or it could be a putty disguised as a civilian drawing Rocky into a trap. Could be anything, but I thought it was interesting to me that they put this in the trailer, because I don't see them putting anything in this trailer that doesn't mean anything. I think everything in this trailer has some sort of meaning, so it was interesting to me that this shot was in there, so I thought it was worth pointing out. All right, now here we have a shot of their teleportation, and I managed to pause it right in the middle of their materialization, and it looks really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I never had any problem with the teleportation from the 90s, but it was 90s CGI, and for the day it looked pretty good. But this looks so good. It looks so very good. The attention to detail, I really, really like this, and I thought they did a really good job. All right, now this is something that just brought my jaw to the floor, and that is a classic shot of the Zords coming onto the battlefield, the original Dino Zords, and this, I am 95% positive that these are the Lightning Collection figures, and Hasbro has used stop motion to bring them onto the battlefield for the sake of the film, and I like it. I really, really like it. They've cleaned it up a little bit. They've made them look a little more rustic. They've got some dirt and some rust on them in places. They look like they've been through some battles. It looks exactly the way it's supposed to look. And the fact that they went through the trouble of doing stop motion. Holy crap. Do you have any idea how painstaking stop motion is? Whoa. So I love this. I absolutely love this. But this looks so good. I mean, it's just the Megazord. Lightning striking the sword because it's about to do its finishing slash. I'm here for it. I love it. Oh my god, that looks so good. Oh, that was like the part that every kid looked forward to. It's like, yeah! So it's about to happen right there. I really liked it. And they used that basically to end the trailer. So I really, really liked that. I liked it a lot. I thought they did a fantastic job with that. And that part was CGI. That doesn't look like stop motion. So, and then the trailer will end on a little note. Walter, Zach just saying to Ming, "Oh, don't worry, we've saved the world before," So, which is pretty cool. But what I wanted to point out was right behind Zach, that looks like a new viewing globe, a modernized viewing globe, which in the grand scheme of things probably isn't that big a deal, but it's worth pointing out, because that was a big point of the show, was behold the viewing globe, and they'd see what was going on. So I like that. I like that a lot. All right, guys, well, that's everything that I saw in the trailer, and I went back and watched this trailer at 12% speed to make sure I didn't miss anything, so I'm pretty sure I got everything. But if I have missed something, please let me know in the comments below. If you have not seen my trailer reaction, then go ahead and click on this video here to check that out. But in the meantime, this has been Mighty Morphin DJ. I'm DJ, and you know what time it is.